shaking your dang on head at yourself.
I ain't did.
You always doing. You was doing 3 days ago in Houston. What is you blowing up and saying all these inaccuracies for to these people? You always doing that.
It started with a quiet afternoon that instantly turned explosive. Out of nowhere, Martell Holt jumped online and fired off one of the boldest accusations he has ever made. And knowing Martell's history, that alone says a lot. But this time, he didn't just call out Melody like he usually does. No. He threw another name into the fire: Harper. A man with a clean reputation, a respected career, and almost no connection to the messy world of reality TV. And yet suddenly, Martell was claiming that Melody and Hill weren't just working together on business. He hinted that something deeper, something hidden, something he said had been going on behind the scenes.
I just hate that this narrative is going around and, bloggers picking things up and, certain people trying to destroy me. But it's not going to happen, though. I'm not going to allow it to happen.
Was finally coming to light. And of course, he made sure the internet heard every word of it. He dropped his comments in that dramatic, vague way he always uses. Just enough detail to make people suspicious, but never enough to prove anything. And instantly, social media exploded. People were shocked, confused. Some were laughing. Others were furious. Because this time, Martell didn't just throw shade, he threw a whole storm.
Kind of hard right now. Yes. Damn. You know what? I'm a man.
That's cool.
I'm not acting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know you're talking about me being vulnerable, and I guess I'm not a vulnerable. It's just what it is.
And the moment his posts hit the internet, a new wave of chaos started rolling right through the middle of Melody's piece, dragging Harper right along with it. To really understand why Martell's latest outburst hit so hard, you have to go back to where all this tension truly began. Martell and Melody didn't just break up. They went through one of the most painful, public, and emotionally draining divorces reality TV has seen in a long time. Their marriage fell apart on camera. Their arguments became memes. Their heartbreak turned into storylines. What started as a power couple with shared dreams eventually collapsed into years of betrayal.
You should be shaking your dang on head at yourself.
I ain't did.
You always doing. You was doing 3 days ago in Houston. What is you blowing up and saying all these inaccuracies for to these people? You always doing that. You always doing. No, it ain't accurate. No, it's not actually accurate. You said to me that when we were married, I was going to hotels cheating on you. That's a goddamn lie.
I didn't say you wanted to.
Yes, you did.
I didn't say that you was.
Yes, you did.
There's
and
a
you've said it
possibility.
multiple times.
There's a possibility, because like me.
Well, we know
what?
you were cheating.
It's okay. Okay. I'm sorry for that.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Not sorry
I knew
for
they was
cheating.
going to destroy what we had. All this, it wouldn't have been like it is.
Resentment, and wounds that still haven't healed. Melody walked away from the marriage, but she never really got to walk away from the drama. Martell kept pulling her name into his mess long after the papers were signed. And every time Melody tried to focus on her own goals, Martell seemed to pop up with a new complaint, a new accusation, or a new attempt to question her decisions. Their co-parenting became a battlefield. Their communication became a tug of war. And their public image became completely opposite worlds. Melody rebuilt herself. She started new businesses. She found her confidence again. She glowed in ways she hadn't glowed in years. Meanwhile, Martell's storyline stayed the same, weighed down by arguments, regrets, and constant social media eruptions. But whenever Melody rose higher, Martell seemed to get louder. When her music started trending, he suddenly appeared online with claims about her being too busy for the kids. When she announced major business moves, he jumped on Instagram complaining about communication issues. When she showed up glowing on red carpets, his timeline magically filled with new concerns about her private life. It became a pattern fans couldn't ignore. Every time Melody was praised, Martell came out swinging. And over the last few years, that cycle has become so predictable that viewers can almost set their clocks by it. But this time, Martell didn't just try to pull Melody down. He decided to drag someone else and someone far outside Huntsville's reality TV whirlwind. And that's where Harper enters the story. Harper is the last person fans expected to see wrapped up in Martell's world. He's known for being private, polished, and politically connected. He has a long acting career, a spotless reputation, and even a powerful campaign behind him. He's not a man who jumps into drama. He's not messy. And he definitely doesn't show up in social media arguments. So when Martell suddenly suggested that Melody and Hill weren't just working together on business projects but also possibly seeing each other romantically, it sent shockwaves through the entire fan base. Not because people believed Martell, but because the claim came completely out of left field. Melody and Hill had been spotted working in similar circles, attending professional events, appearing at functions that brought entrepreneurs and public figures together. But nothing about their interactions looked suspicious. Nothing seemed inappropriate. And nothing suggested they were involved in anything other than professional collaboration. Yet Martell insisted that something deeper was happening. He said the timing didn't add up. He hinted that Melody hadn't been honest about her connection to Hill. And he implied that their work together involved things the public hadn't seen. But once again, he brought zero proof. The more Martell talked, the more fans started raising eyebrows not at Melody or Hill, but at him. Because the timing looked way too familiar. Melody had just attended a major event where she was celebrated for her growth, her independence, and her business accomplishments. She was glowing online. People were praising her. She was trending again. And right on cue, here came Martell with new allegations, acting as if he had uncovered some scandal. It wasn't the first time. And this time, people weren't buying it. What nobody expected was how fast the situation spiraled once fans started reacting. Some were laughing, calling Martell jealous and predictable. Others were upset, accusing him of trying to tear down Melody's peace again. Many pointed out that he always avoids taking accountability for his own actions, yet he always has plenty to say about Melody's life. People reminded him that he himself had been involved in multiple public relationships, some of which had ended in chaos, accusations, and messy back and forths. Meanwhile, Melody had stayed quiet, focused, and steady. And Harper? He didn't say a word. Not a single comment. Not a single like. Not even a subtle response. His silence actually made Martell's claims look even weaker. Still, some people wondered, could Martell be telling even a small piece of the truth? After all, celebrities collaborate privately all the time. Some prefer to keep partnerships quiet until the time is right. And when someone is trying to bait them into drama, staying silent is often the smart move. It didn't matter. Because the real issue wasn't whether Melody and Hill were working together on something meaningful. The real issue was why Martell felt the need to shout about it. Why he couldn't let Melody move on with her life. Why he always resurfaced when her success became too visible. And whether he even realized how transparent his behavior looked to everyone watching. What nobody expected was that Martell would double down. He hinted that Melody had been hiding things for months. He insisted that this connection wasn't new. He said she had been seeing Hill on the low and keeping it from him even though they co-parent. He questioned her honesty. He questioned her transparency. And he made it sound like Melody was trying to look innocent in public while living a secret double life. But again, no receipts. No screenshots. No evidence. Just more smoke and dramatic storytelling. And fans saw right through it. People began saying this wasn't about Melody or Hill at all. It was about Martell's pride. His fear of being forgotten. His struggle with watching Melody evolve while he stayed trapped in the same cycles. When you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, the motive becomes obvious. Martell's storyline hasn't changed in years. On the show, he's still connected to the same conflicts, the same arguments, the same regrets. And the more Melody distances herself from the drama, the more his name starts fading from the spotlight. Producers want conflict, but they also want growth. And Martell hasn't shown much of that lately. His tension with cast members has increased. His relationships on the show have grown strained. And even fans have expressed frustration, saying his scenes feel repetitive, forced, and emotionally draining. So when Melody started shining once again, Martell may have felt that pressure building. And for a man who once held a position of power in their partnership, watching her succeed without him might have hit harder than he admits. In the middle of all this chaos, the emotional toll became impossible to ignore. Melody built her peace patiently. She protected her boundaries. She distanced herself from arguments and guarded her heart from things that once broke her. She focused on healing, raising her kids, and creating a life that wasn't attached to Martell's storms. But every time she glowed, Martell's voice echoed in the background. Every time she celebrated, his comments threatened to dim the moment. And emotionally, that kind of pattern wears on you. It forces you to choose between reacting and staying silent. Between defending yourself and ignoring the noise. Between fighting the same battles and rising above them. Melody chose silence. And in many ways, that silence said more than any statement she could have made. It showed growth, strength, self-control, and a level of maturity that Martell hasn't quite reached yet. For Harper, being dragged into all this couldn't have come at a worse time. He has real responsibilities. A campaign, supporters, public appearances. And the last thing he needs is to be attached to messy accusations that have nothing to do with who he is or what he represents. But instead of clapping back, he stayed still. He stayed calm. And that calmness made the entire situation look even more lopsided. Because while Martell was yelling into the void, Hill showed exactly why his image is so respected. Actions speak louder than anger. Silence speaks louder than accusations. And dignity speaks louder than gossip. When everything started to settle, a bigger truth became clear. This wasn't about Melody's love life. It wasn't about business. It wasn't about Harper at all. It was about a man who still hadn't healed from the loss of a relationship he once took for granted. Martell keeps trying to rewrite the story, hoping that controlling the narrative will make him feel less powerless. But the more he tries to pull Melody back into old wounds, the more obvious it becomes that he's the only one still living in them. Melody has been walking forward while Martell keeps looking over his shoulder. She's been building while he's been arguing. She's been evolving while he's been repeating the same patterns. And here's the twist: the more Martell tries to tear Melody down, the more the world sees how far she has come. His accusations don't reveal her secrets, they reveal his struggles. They expose the pain he hasn't dealt with. They highlight the jealousy he can't hide. And they show a man who is desperate for relevance while the woman he lost keeps rising on her own path. So where does that leave things now? Martell's claims have been dismissed. Fans aren't entertained by the drama the way they used to be. People are calling for growth, peace, and something new. Producers are watching closely because even reality TV has limits. Cast members are keeping their distance. And Melody? She's unbothered. She's focused. She's walking with grace. And she refuses to let old battles define her present. She knows the truth. She knows her worth. And she no longer needs to explain her life to someone who only comes around when the spotlight shifts.